Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. Hope you guys are all doing well today. If you're a Blockfi fan and user, you've come to the right place. I do monthly videos on the Blockfi platform. In an effort to give more value to my subscribers, I've started a newsletter, and I've even hired a buddy of mine to write a portion of the newsletter. And in his portion, he focuses on lending platforms. There's a paid version and a free version of this newsletter, but it basically outlines how much he's earned, how much he's invested, and what kind of moves he's making. As some of you may know, the rates aren't static. They're pretty dynamic and they change sometimes on a weekly to daily basis. And to help you guys keep track, once a week I also send out a lending rate update. And with this update, you get notified of the most compelling changes across the various lending platforms. And to make it even easier for you guys, we've consolidated all the lending rates across the various lending platforms that we use into this Excel sheet. The upcoming newsletter is going to focus on crypto.com, but the newsletter after that is only going to be focusing on Blockfi. And within the next 5 days, I'm actually working on my own Blockfi newsletter. It's going to be only for premium members, but all of you guys are going to find out exactly how much my dad's invested, what he's investing in now, and how much interest he's earned since he's invested. So if any of that is appealing to you guys, all you need to do to sign up for that newsletter is click the link in the description below, enter in your email address, and you guys will be signed up to receive these newsletters. With the intro out of the way, let's go ahead and dive into this video. Alright, to start off this video, let's go over a few of the updates. Due to the recent hack, they decided to hire a chief security officer, Adam Healy. And this guy has extensive experience in the field. He even worked for Bakkt prior to this. And he's played similar roles in other big companies. And in his 15 years of experience, he's actually worked with the US intelligence community and Department of Defense, Microsoft, and Plantar Technology. He's been responsible for designing and implementing strategic IT initiatives within the US government, as well as critical cybersecurity programs for Fortune 100 companies. And I think part of the reason why he stood out aside from his previous experience was because of his most recent role at Bakkt. And given that Blockfi is managing more and more money every day, they're becoming a bigger honeypot for scammers and hackers. Currently, they manage over 1 billion in assets, and despite the recent hack, they've operated with a 0% loss rate. They can't go back and rewrite history. What they can do is take proactive measures to make sure another hack doesn't happen. And I think this is key as they look to expand into international markets. And to help with their international expansion, they've hired Rishi Ramachandani as Director of Business Development. Rishi has extensive experience in the international market. Specifically, he has a lot of experience in Singapore, and he's also started a few businesses himself. And in this new role, Rishi will be responsible for building out Blockfi's business in Asia Pacific region while growing its institutional partnership and client roster in Asia markets. Rishi brings a culmination of 10 years of experience in traditional finance to the team, having recently led global and Asia equities trading teams for Bank of America Merrill Lynch. This is great news for people who have stake in the company, who own equity in the company, but for us users who don't have equity, the collateral benefit from all this could be that the Asian clients could have a very robust interest in a new service or maybe even a new asset that they want supported on the Blockfi interest account. And who knows, maybe if they expand their institutional partnerships, it could lead to them supporting a variety of new assets on the platform for us to earn interest in. And while we wait for these new additions, we can definitely check out the new app and the upgrades. In terms of functionality, you can pretty much do everything you could do on the web-based platform. However, you can't make any changes to your profile and you can't access your monthly statement. But this is the full release of the app, so now you can easily and conveniently manage your app on the go without having to log into a computer. Lastly, Blockfi posted a 100% revenue increase in Q2. Since raising 30 million in Series B funding in February, the company has doubled monthly revenue. Obviously, that's great news, but I wonder how much money they spent on marketing and new hires, because I would imagine a doubling of their revenue took quite a bit of capital to do. During the week of the halving, Blockfi added more clients than any other week since the company's founding. Approximately 7,000 new accounts were funded, putting the firm at a 25% month-over-month growth rate. Blockfi is now on track to generate 50 million in revenue over the next year. And this is part of the reason why I recommended Blockfi as opposed to some of the other platforms. I mean, this is a real company. It's fully compliant from a regulatory standpoint. And they have a lot of big backers that they can lean on. For example, Fidelity is an investor in Blockfi. And one of my subscribers actually sent one of his buddies over to the Blockfi office just to see if there's a presence there. He also said that when you call Blockfi, somebody actually picks up the phone. And even though it sounds like something simple to you guys, some of the other popular lending platforms don't pick up the phone when you call, and when you go to their office, there's nobody there. And for those reasons, I've decided to go ahead and let my dad deposit his funds onto Blockfi because I feel it's like one of the safest platforms to invest on. Also, my dad doesn't like to trade on the regular. He just wants to put his capital somewhere and put it to work. And I think for individuals who intend to put their money or assets onto a platform for a long period of time, Blockfi is probably one of the best platforms out there for that. All right, this is my friend's account. As you know, I do monthly updates on this account. I also do monthly updates on my dad's account, but that's only for patrons and for people who have the paid subscription of the newsletter. So my buddy has approximately $26,000 worth of crypto assets and fiat on his Blockfi account. As some of you may know, with this month, they actually made a small change. If you wanted to access your monthly statement, you have to go to your profile settings. They no longer emailed the statement to you. Here to the left, you have the crypto prices. Here you have all the newly earned interest. And at the very right here, you can see the net balance after they've added the newly earned interest. And based on the current rates, my buddy earned $68 in Bitcoin, $9 in ETH, about $3 in Litecoin, and $50 on his USDC. And if you add all that up, he made $136 in passive income this month. And I've said this in the past, but I think it's worth saying again, but this is the power of the return multiplier effect. My buddy likes to dollar cost average into Bitcoin and then deposit it on Blockfi and various other lending platforms. And he's been dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin since the price bottomed. So some of the Bitcoin that he's bought has gone up 3x. And let's say that trend continues. Let's say Bitcoin goes to $100,000. And without adding a single dollar to his account, the same Bitcoin that's yielding him $68 will be yielding him $680. And in a way, it's analogous to buying a REIT. And when you buy a real estate investment plan on the equities market, you can enroll it into a direct reinvestment plan. This way, all the cash flow that's distributed to shareholders in the form of dividends gets reinvested into buying even more shares. And if you're like me and you have strong conviction in the store value or reserve currency narrative for Bitcoin, then dollar cost averaging into Bitcoin, lending it out for a 4 to 6% yield is probably one of the best investment opportunities out there. And the balance that you see here today, my buddy does not plan to move anytime soon. So it's really great because Blockfi is very strict about their withdrawal policy. It can take over a day to get your funds withdrawn. But to my friend, that's not a big issue because he doesn't plan to withdraw these funds for a very long time. This is his long-term investment account. And to end the video, I'm going to share with you guys what we plan to do with this account moving forward. We're going to continue getting paid in like interest because we think the markets are likely to go higher in the near term. But because of the DeFi hype taking hold, it's my personal opinion that Ethereum is likely to benefit tremendously from all the development that's happening in the DeFi space. And since most of the development in DeFi is happening on top of Ethereum, buying Ethereum is like buying a DeFi ETF. It's a relatively safe way to get broad exposure to all the activity happening in the DeFi space. And for those of you guys who subscribe to my newsletter, you know that long before the DeFi hype, many of the coin of the weeks that I selected were DeFi coins. And if you're a member of my Discord, you know that I've been talking about DeFi before it actually became a thing. And despite all the development on top of Ethereum and all the progress that's been made, I think the price is lagging, and I think there's a good chance that Ethereum will produce gains that outstrip the gains of Bitcoin. After having a discussion with my friend, he agrees with my thesis, and I'll be converting $2,000 worth of USDC into Ethereum, with plans to invest additional $2,000 the following month, contingent upon how the market conditions look like. So now I'll go ahead and proceed to convert USDC into Ethereum. So on the right, you put in the asset that you want to trade in, and on the left, you go ahead and put the asset you want to receive. Rather than dealing with fractional amounts of Ethereum, I'm just going to round to 9. So that's going to cost approximately $2,083. We'll go ahead and review the trade and then submit the trade. And that's all, folks. Now my buddy has additional Ethereum in his wallet, and you can see that's reflected in the updated balance here. And if you've been watching this video until now, you're one of the people that I think is going to really like the newsletter. So make sure to sign up for it by clicking the link in the description below. This way you'll get fresh insights on the lending platforms. You'll be able to keep up the lending rates, and you'll know what kind of moves my buddy is making. And if you found any use in this video, do me a huge favor by liking the video, commenting down below, and subscribing to this channel. With that being said, this is CryptoOneStop signing out. I'll talk to you folks next time. Bye.